talk to each other about music and understand it. Because if we all just had our own version of music theory that we came up with words, we maybe didn't know what a note was. We'd just be like a sound. So
well, you know what's
it's
a
like
really
a dictionary, basically.
You know what's a really interesting thing that was how like things were described in Chinese back in the day is like, and like in Japanese too. I wonder what's the difference in Japanese actually, but like back in the day, nowadays when we say sound in Chinese, we say 声音, which 声音 just means sound. It's like all over, but it can also mean voice.
Okay.
Like you say 你的声音, it's like your voice. And that's why you hear Chinese people sometimes when they're talking about a sound, they say the voice of the trumpet because it's the same sound.
It's the same.
It's the same word, you know. But like back in the very, very beginning of it all, like 音 was a single sound. 声 was sounds put together.
Okay.
You know? And so like they kind of just describe things like that. There was 音 and there was 声. So like there is single sounds and then sounds that harmonize together to make
music.
Another unit, which would be 声, and then music would be that next unit above it. So you had 音 and then you had 声 and then you have 乐, you know. So like, and then even nowadays, like the word we use for music, 音乐 has that 音 in the beginning, but then 乐 after it, you know. So yeah, and then you can even say things like 乐声, which would be like using that 声 but putting 乐 in front of it would be like musical sound as opposed to like 噪音, which would be like noise, you know. It's kind of interesting how like back in the day, like how Chinese people kind of put things in units like that. But and music was not seen as like how we see music. It was more of like the main use was like ritual, you know. So it's a completely different way of looking at music, though. But even back then, I think we saw music as more of ritual and less as entertainment.
Yeah,
you know?
there's an interesting way that music develops throughout history. Not a time for this conversation in this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I just kind of thought about that when you were talking. I forgot what activated that memory from you.